Good morning, and welcome here to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show. This is a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. So we're here with the series that we're running for the month of November, which is my 30 favorite rock drummer albums. So this is day number 4. Yes, so the album we're going to be doing is my number 27. And it's going to feature this band, Genesis. This is the album, and then there were 3, which came out, I think it was in 78. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's when I think it was, offhand. So this, of course, the drum on this is done by Phil Collins, no other than Phil Collins, really. Very different album at this point in Genesis history from anything they'd done before. Most of the stuff they did before was very proggy, and lots of fills and different sounds, complex rhythms and beats by Phil Collins. This album's a little bit more straightforward, but it's heavier than the other albums, I think. I think it's one of their heavier albums, at least early on for their career. So Phil Collins doing some heavy stuff on here. I wouldn't call this like a John Bonham, but although obviously he was influenced by John Bonham because he tried to play for Led Zeppelin a few years later. But it's a different type of an album from anything Genesis had done at this time. You know, this is to me, this is kind of the transitionary album. You know, some would say that took place with the next album, Duke. But I think this one is the beginning of that. So you've got this prog stuff going on here, but there's only 3 of them now. So no longer is Steve Hackett in the band. So the guitars are toned down quite a bit. And although Mike Rutherford, I think, is a decent guitar player, and he gets the rhythm part fairly well. I don't think he has the ability to play a lot of the stuff that Steve Hackett played. He's simply not in the same class, you know. But you have Phil Collins here toning his stuff down, as well as Tony Banks also toning his stuff down. So they wanted to create a more streamlined, simplistic sound to their music on this album. And initially, I really didn't care for it. It took some time for me to get used to it, but I eventually grew to like this album. The two tracks I probably like the most on this are Deep in the Mother Lode, which is it's got this kind of heavy beat, melodic beat going on, which I like it. It really adds some backbone to the music. And the other song I like quite a bit is, of course, Scenes from a Night's Dream. This is a little bit more up-tempoed than Deep in the Mother Lode, but very forward drum playing on this particular track. Probably one of the more complex parts on the album. And I wouldn't go as far as to say it's complex, but it's more complex than most of the other stuff on here. Down and Out and Undertow are both good opening tracks on this as well. I guess my overall feeling about this album is that even though it was obviously change in direction for Genesis at this point, nobody knew that it was going to go to what it eventually became. However, I eventually gained a kind of a liking for this album because of the more heaviness of the drums, the more prominence of the drums, I think. And, you know, keyboards, of course, were the major instrument here as well. Not so much with the other instruments, which were toned down quite a bit. Those are the 2 more dominant instruments. Phil Collins stepping up to do his part as well. Yeah, I just think that this is a much more streamlined album, but it has a nice kind of rhythm section to it. It's an easy listen to drums part, and I do quite like it. It's grown on me, and I don't think it'll ever be a masterpiece album with me, but I think it's a very good album with some very good kind of melodic drum parts throughout the tracks on this album. So anyways, that's my take on this album for today, Genesis, and then there were 3. What number of studio album is this? I think this might be their 8th or 9th, possibly. Let me think about it for a second. Yeah, I think this may be their 9th studio album. If I'm wrong, somebody will correct me, I'm sure. Anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please hit the like and subscribe. That's much appreciated. I'll put this back here so it's out of my way. And don't forget to make any comments about the album or anything I've said. You can put that in the comment section below. And this album is going to come out today. So sorry, I'm getting a little bit tired here. I'm not getting tired. I just woke up, so I'm not really fully awake yet. So anyways, please don't forget to leave your comments, hit the like and notification bell, as well as the subscription bell. All those things help my channel. And we will be back tomorrow with another album from this, my 30 favorite rock drummer albums from for my collection. Thank you. Bye.